Wastelanders is a good first step in making sure that Fallout 76 feels like a complete Fallout experience, and so far the content that we've got is pretty good. I mean, the quests are great, you get some good rewards, and there is some new endgame grind for those of us who have pretty much done with the game. So my first impressions are things are pretty awesome, and during the AMA event on the Fallout 76 subreddit, I'll be putting that link in the description down below if you guys want to check this out. We had a lot of questions to ask the project lead and lead designer of Fallout 76, and they gave us a lot of information on what we can expect for Fallout 76 in this year. Now, there was a lot of comments and discussion happening in the Reddit thread for the AMA, so it's kind of hard to get everything the developers said, but thankfully a Redditor has put all the information that we got from the AMA in one thread. Shout out KA the Human. I'm going to also put that link in the description down below if you guys want to check it out for yourself, but I'm going to go over each of the new features today and tell you what I'm most excited for. Let's get started. The first bullet point we got here is a mole miner NPC similar to the legendary vendor will be making their way to Appalachia very soon. Now, they didn't really go into detail what this NPC is going to be doing, whether or not it's going to be another vendor or just a quest giver or part of an event. But if you actually head down to the basement of the Rusty Pick, this is where the legendary vendor resides now. You will see another friendly mole miner in the back area. Now, you can't get to him and you can't VATS on him, so you can't really see his name, but he is a friendly NPC mole miner down there, and I think that is going to be the new one we're going to be getting. We're also being told that there's going to be some very fun features added to the camp this year. I also saw in the thread that they wanted to make it feel like more of a settlement system, but with the way that camps are set up, it's really hard to add things to it while keeping the performance hit down. And they're obviously being very cryptic about this because they don't want to give people a promise of what things can be for the camp system and them not being able to implement it correctly or in the way that they imagined it. So they're going to be trying things out, and hopefully we'll be getting something really cool. I was thinking it would be amazing if we got a event spawn where we get waves of enemies attacking our base and we have to defend, sort of like that thing you can get in the Creation Club in Fallout 4. I don't know, to me I think that would be really cool. An actual roadmap of content in 2020 is being worked on and will be revealed very soon. Now, we have seen a roadmap of the coming events and little things that are going to be coming in Fallout 76, but it's not really like the content map that they showed for Wild Appalachia, which showed a lot of the year one content coming. So we were expecting to see what we're going to be getting in year two, but we have yet to see that. Obviously, with Wastelanders coming around the corner, they really wanted to focus on that. But now that the game is out, we're finally going to be seeing an actual roadmap, and I'm pretty excited for it. They said really soon, so I'm assuming that it's going to be released with the first official Wastelanders update coming in May. The developers said that they're going to be looking into expanding the camp budget in the future. Obviously, I covered this earlier, saying that adding anything to the camp is going to decrease performance of the game, so the decisions that they made were to keep the performance hit down. So it'll be interesting to see what they're planning on adding to this, but I think just a bigger budget is a start. They also hinted at some new content coming, saying that the Brotherhood of Steel will be making a possible return to Fallout 76, and they're watching us very closely. If you've played the story of Fallout 76 without spoiling too much, we had connection with the Brotherhood of Steel before the Scorched Plague took over, and they definitely had troops inside West Virginia before this all went down, so it'll be really cool to see them come back. The Brotherhood of Steel is obviously one of the favorite factions of the Fallout series, and they have to come back in some fashion or another. Legendary perk cards, perk loadouts, and one Appalachia update are coming in the summer. Now, these are the things that I was most excited about hearing about. The legendary perk cards is going to make it even better for people that are like level 200, 300, already reached the end game. This gives them something else to work towards, and we don't really know too much about it. So I'm really excited to see more about this. Perk loadouts is really good. Finally, it's coming to the game. It's hands down one of the #1 mods that I tell people to run when they're playing Fallout 76 on the PC. It's just such a good feature, and it's so surprising that it's taken this long to be implemented into the game, but coming in the summer, that's amazing. One Appalachia, this is the experience that they're going to be evolving 76 into. It's going to feel a lot like ESO if you've ever played that from Bethesda. It's essentially going to scale every enemy down to your level. So if you head straight from Vault 76 all the way to an endgame zone like the Mire, instead of enemies spawning in at the max level for that zone, they're going to be scaled down to your level. And there's a lot of controversy about this. A lot of people seem to think that the game is going to be easier as a whole, but I'm hoping that they can tweak the levels of the enemies scaled down to your level for the zones. So if you're a new player and you make it into Watoga, those enemies are still going to be strong and possibly impossible for you to deal with until you reach a higher level. The next one is a surprise. We heard that pets are going to be on the way, and they're going to be added as an addition of the companion system. So you're not going to be allowed only a companion or a pet. I think you're still going to be allowed one companion, and you can have one pet along with that. And now we don't know whether it's going to work with Wasteland Whisperer or not, or if it's going to be a quest where you can get this thing as a pet, or even what these pets even do. There's still a lot left in the dark, but they're on the way, which is really cool, and I'm really excited for it. A full-on Wendigo Colossus event is coming in the summer. I think that one of the main problems that Wastelanders has is once you have finished the quest line for the game, you don't have very many events or dailies to do to get some of those treasury notes, which is the new currency in the end game. But with new events and new dailies added in, I think they can really bridge the gap of content really well. And I don't know about you guys, but I personally haven't seen a Wendigo Colossus yet. I don't know how to get them to spawn or where they even spawn in, but I'm still on the lookout. So having a full-on event definitely makes sure that you get a chance to fight this thing, and it's probably going to be a super strong one. Marine combat helmets will be craftable in the future. This is something pretty small, but a lot of people have been asking for this, and it's not in the game yet, so it's really cool that this is going to be something that Bethesda is going to be looking into. The Blue Ridge Caravan is one of the new factions added into the game, and they're only really associated with one of the new events with Wastelanders, and a lot of people have been asking for a little bit more backstory or expansion of the faction in general, and they hinted that there is going to be a possible expansion for it, so that's really cool to hear. They also want to expand companion capabilities, so you're going to actually be able to change your allies' clothes, which is not something that I was thinking about or even looking for, but it gives us a little bit more flavor and we can sort of play role our characters a little bit more. And you finally get the space lady out of her spacesuit. She's probably really excited about that. A lot of players of Fallout 76 are really excited about the Mothman Cultists. It's one of the new interesting factions in West Virginia, and we haven't really heard of them before because the Mothman is a cryptid that is local to the West Virginia area. So they said that content is being explored. It's not really confirmed yet, but I think everybody really wants to see some more stuff for them, and I think that Bethesda would be making a mistake not exploring that. Now, it actually came as a shock to me to hear that there are only 5 allies in Wastelanders at the start, but this is something new that they're trying and they needed to get it right, so it makes sense that there would only be a few numbers, only one of each faction. But Bethesda is dedicated to adding more. I think this is a really good avenue of adding more content into the game, and I think that the quests for the allies that we have now are pretty good, so it'll be interesting to see what they add in the future. They also said that content outside of Appalachia is a possibility in the future and to stay tuned. This is very interesting to hear because at the beginning they said that they wanted to keep the content inside of West Virginia, and they created such an amazing world space that they didn't want to have to worry about adding any of the outside zones. They wanted to save that for the future games, but it seems that they changed their mind on this and this is now a possibility. So nobody knows what this means, but I'm pretty excited. They detailed a new team system coming to the summer. This is similar to a public looking for groups system, where team leaders will appear on the map with buffs in exploration and events. And honestly, upon hearing about this, I'm actually really excited. This is something that the game desperately needs. Now, if you want to find someone for one of the endgame events, which is nearly impossible to do with one person, your only avenues are to search for players in-game and ask them if they're willing to help you, or go to a Discord and ask other players. It seems like Bethesda is sticking to their stance on no text chat in Fallout 76 whatsoever, which is honestly mind-boggling to me, but with a new looking for group system, this sort of alleviates that need to text chat with other people. And with the added buffs and stuff that they're talking about, that sounds interesting as well. I can't wait to hear more on that. Fosnot Day is coming back next month. This is one of the first content updates that we got for Fallout 76 when it first came out, and there was a lot of controversy with that. Some of the coolest masks that you can get from the reward had really ridiculously low drop rates, and people weren't able to get them without either duping or hacking. But Bethesda already said that they're coming out with new maps and they're tweaking the drop rate a little bit, so it should be easier to get these masks, and that's honestly a really good thing. Can't wait. Now, the raids for Fallout 76 was a really cool idea. I like the concept of raiding one of the vaults on the map, and it has its own little story, and it feels a lot like a raid in a popular MMO. But the problem was it wasn't really optimized, and the experience was definitely challenging and didn't feel fun at all, and people largely left it alone. So much so that they said that they're scrapping the idea and going back to the drawing board, and they're now implementing a rotation dungeon system to replace the vault raids. It's going to have different rewards, different story, and that I think is probably the best step. A lot of people didn't like the vault raids, so coming up with something new that is more of like a harder event that people have to work towards is probably more appealing to the community. And with that, we have all the information that they detailed coming to Fallout 76 in 2020. This stuff is really amazing. There is a lot that they have planned out. I was worried at the beginning that they were gonna have Wastelanders be their big drop of content to hold over the players until the next big content, but it seems like they're really sort of peppering in all this little stuff, and it's gonna make the game feel a lot better in the long run, and that's all that we can really ask for. And it's good to see the game in such a state where they're taking a step in the right direction. I hope they keep this up and they don't double down on the microtransactions in the Atomic Shop. But anyways, that's going to do it for this video, guys. If you enjoyed the video, please be sure to like and subscribe, share it to everybody else that's playing Fallout 76 with you, and put in the comment section below which one of these features you are most excited about seeing in Fallout 76. I'm really interested in hearing your guys' opinions. I really appreciate you for checking out this video, and I'll see you in the next one.